From a city floating on the sea with no allegiance to any country to a real-world Wakanda, rich and famous people have had the craziest ideas when it comes to building projects. Today, we're looking at 5 insane projects proposed by celebrities, starting with AKON City. Number 5. AKON City. In 2018, the movie Black Panther had us dreaming about futuristic cities in Africa, and in the same year, musical artist AKON announced that he was building one. He would call it AKON City. The first renders of the city featured skyscrapers and futuristic-looking housing and infrastructure. AKON said that the city was inspired by the Black Panther and would be tech-forward. Here's a feature roundup. The city would cost $6 billion. There would be a huge solar power farm to power the city. There would be a 5,000-bed hospital and curvy skyscrapers. A lot of curvy skyscrapers. As time passed, the idea evolved. Later renders showed fewer skyscrapers with the design still looking futuristic, and then came the craziest update. With the 2020 and 2021 crypto boom, many celebrities were jumping on the blockchain bandwagon. Where many were content with making a quick buck off of NFTs, AKON took a long-term approach, announcing that his city of the future would run on a cryptocurrency called AKON. The problem is that while people bought AKON, the city of the future never became a present reality. As per earlier announcements, the city was supposed to be open by 2026, and AKON laid the first stone in 2021. The construction has not really gone past the first stone. Since then, AKON has been sued by one investor and has been called out for selling dreams that are detached from reality. Speaking of detachment from reality, the next development is truly out of touch. On number 4, we have Larry Ellison's ultra-wealthy island. Ellison might not be as famous as AKON, but he is definitely much richer. Dude's a literal billionaire, so it makes sense that his mega project is an island for billionaires and millionaires. Ellison bought 98% of Lanai City on Hawaii's Lanai Island. Here's a feature roundup. The purchase cost Ellison $300 million back in 2012 when he acquired the island slice. Ellison transformed the pineapple plantation city into a high-end resort city with its very own Nobu. The city also has state-of-the-art wellness centers and a private jet services. It seems like Lanai City has everything except affordability, which is unfortunate for the locals who are pushed out by the astronomical cost of living. But not all cities are designed to push out working-class people. Some are built exclusively for workers, like the next city. On number 3, we have Elon Musk's Snailbrook, a city for his employees. Elon Musk is a celebrity CEO with billions of dollars at his disposal, and buying Twitter at an inflated price of $44 billion wasn't his wackiest idea. He plans to build 2 cities specifically to house the employees of 2 of his companies. Here's a roundup. Musk bought 6,000 acres of land in Texas to build Snailbrook. The city would house employees of SpaceX and the Boring Company. Musk is keeping much of his development plans close to his chest. So, for all we know, the city could turn out to be a secret dictatorship. Or it could be the perfect utopia. Also worth mentioning is Musk's biggest idea, building a colony on Mars where humans will live in domes with artificial atmosphere. Makes you wonder which laws would apply on Mars. Speaking of cities with no laws, we have the next crazy project. At number 2, we have Peter Thiel's city, which won't be tied to any country, a free-floating nation called Seastead. Peter Thiel is the co-founder of PayPal and the first outside investor of Facebook. Needless to say, the dude's a billionaire. And along with his other billionaire buddies, he came up with the idea of a free-floating island nation that would remain in international waters. It would practically be its own country, but initially it would need to be built somewhere. And that somewhere for Thiel was French Polynesia. Here's a roundup. Peter Thiel founded a nonprofit called the Seasteading Institute that would work on building free-floating cities. The pilot program would have a floating city with its own government, cryptocurrency, and 300 homes. The islands would run on solar power and gather and recycle water from the ocean. While Thiel kickstarted the nonprofit, he has since stepped back. The Seasteading Institute is doing its own thing but has yet to materialize a working seastead. So, can there be an idea any crazier than permanently living on the ocean? Yes, the number 1 mega project is, wait for it, the Woke City. Yes, believe it or not, Tolosa is a city planned on the idea of being completely woke. Jet.com CEO and celebrity serial entrepreneur Mark Lore plans to build a city where everyone will have equal access to everything. Just how impractical is this? Judge it for yourself from this roundup. Telosa will be built on land owned by a community endowment fund. Residents will be able to build their homes and benefit from the rising value. If the land value rises enough, the fund could pay for all basic healthcare and education needs of all of its residents. To start off, Telosa would need $25 billion to house 55,000 residents by 2030. Eventually, it's set to house as many as 5 million people with $400 billion budget. Gotta say, free stuff is pretty damn expensive. But do you know what's not expensive? This next video on the amazing mega projects in Singapore.